Welcome back to the best Cobblemon Let's Play. We have a really exciting episode for today. I'm going to show you guys how to build a super simple, super fast, and super effective automatic apricorn farm, so you'll never run out of apricorns again. And then we're taking on the next Team Rocket boss, Archer. This should be a really great video, so make sure to stick around to the end so you don't miss anything. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do that so you don't miss out on any of the future episodes because they're going to be super helpful. Now, when it comes to materials, they're pretty simple. You're going to want at least 7 dispensers, which is what I'm building right now. You'll want 1 observer, some apricorn wood, so it can't be normal wood. You'll need apricorn logs like this. Ideally 1 of each apricorn seed, unless you don't want all of them. Some glass, some normal building blocks, redstone, and shears, and that's about it. And then you can either use hoppers, which I'm going to use just because it tends to have a little bit less loss, or if you don't have a ton of iron, then you can use just a water stream, but you might lose a little bit more with the farm. However, if you're running low on iron, then check out my video about the automatic iron farm over here, and you will never run low on iron again. But speaking of the iron farm, if you have an iron farm or some other big automatic farms, I would suggest you build your apricorn farm nearby so you can AFK at both. Once you find a good area with enough open space, you'll place down 7 apricorn logs if you're doing 1 of each apricorn, or if you're doing more, then obviously you can do more apricorn logs. Then you'll need an equal number of apricorn leaves. Now the easiest way to do that is just come over to a tree with some shears, and you can get plenty of apricorn leaves just like that. And you don't have to worry about destroying some of your trees because once you have this farm, you won't really need them anymore. Once you have these apricorn leaves, you can just place them on top of the logs, and you'll do again just 1 number for each. Then you're going to want to set up a collection system, so we can just place a double chest right here, and we'll fix this guy here so it actually is a double chest. Next, you just want to place hoppers going into your chests like this. Now, obviously, if you didn't want to do hoppers, if you think that's too expensive, you could just put your chest 1 block lower with 1 hopper flowing into it, and then you could just have a water stream here flowing down, and that would work as well. Next up, you're just going to place 1 of each color apricorn, or again, as many apricorns as you want, on top of these leaves. It makes it a lot easier to build these farms when you can just place them directly here. In the previous tutorial I've made, I didn't know you could do this, and so we went through a little bit more complicated method, but this will be much easier if you just do it like this. Next up, you want to place an observer facing this way, which will help us know when the apricorn has grown fully. Then we're going to place some temporary blocks, so it's fine to use something ugly like dirt because we're going to get rid of it. And you're going to place just a full row going back this way over each of the blocks. Then you'll place a dispenser facing down just like this on each of these blocks. And I just noticed that Archer, who is the next Team Rocket boss, the person we have to fight, just spawned in. I have no idea what his team is like, but I think I'd like to battle him right now. We're not at the level cap, so we will likely lose, but I'd like to know what his team is so we can be prepared for later on in this episode when we take him on. If you're not interested in the Let's Play, you're just here for the tutorial, feel free to skip ahead. I'll have it in the timestamps below where I restart the tutorial, and so you can just go through there. But for the rest of you who are interested, we'll battle Archer right now and see how it goes. The tutorial is nearly finished, so make sure to check out the end. We'll start with Gavin, and we'll throw out our Pokemon here, and he's starting with a Gothitella, which is a really interesting choice. We don't have, unfortunately, a dark move on Gavin, which would have been nice. We'll try and go for a body slam and see how it does. And I'm going to turn on some of the noises, because now I think it's weird not having it as we battle, and so that should make it a little bit easier. I think we're doing fairly well. I think we can beat Gothitella. It does do a good amount of damage to us, but I think we're doing more. I'm not sure. It's going to be a close call. Hopefully we can knock it out with this one right here. It will knock us out next turn, so if we don't get him, we're in trouble. Okay, we do take him out, which is great. And his next Pokemon is Houndoom. Now, we would do great against Houndoom with high horsepower, but he'll probably take us out with Heat Wave, which he does. But that's all right, because we have Great DPS, who's a very good counter. And he has Dark Pulse, which I don't think will do a ton. Oh, but we flinch, which isn't great. Shoot. Okay, that's not very lucky of us, but hopefully if we can get 1 Aqua Tail off, it should hopefully kill him, which it does. Next up is Aegislash. That's a pretty tricky Pokemon. I don't think we can hurt it on its first turn. Oh, we can. So apparently its ability doesn't work in this game. I'm tempted to go for Bite because I know it's super effective, but Aqua Tail will probably do more. And I think Bite actually did more. However, it was a critical hit. So that's probably why. I think Joseph has Crunch. So we're going to go for him. Honestly, things are going really well here. We might be able to take out Archer on our first try. The way it went with Giovanni, I was worried we would get destroyed. But, oh, we just beat him. That was pretty easy. Okay, yeah, so we just took down Archer. I bet we might even be able to take on the next boss. I think we have to fight either Giovanni again or another Team Rocket boss. I'll have to look, but that was pretty easy. We might be able to take another one on this episode. Once you've got this set up, you're going to want to put in a pair of shears into each of the dispensers here. Once you have them all full of dispensers, you'll want to put some sort of decoration block in front of each of the hoppers. Smooth stone is actually what I would recommend, but I don't have any with me right now, so I'm going to go with the oak wood, which probably doesn't look great. So I may come back and update the design later. But you just need something here to prevent the apricorns from falling out and also to prevent any mobs from damaging your farm. Also, I've never seen Grand Bull's design, but he looks super funny. He is really ready for a fight. After that, you're going to want to cover up each of these spots with some glass. Again, this is just to make sure nothing comes out, and you can also see inside of your farm, which is really nice. Then you'll need one more block right here, and to finish the farm, you just need to activate it using redstone. So we'll build up some redstone here, and you want it to go on top of each of the dispensers, and I'll have to check the distance. You may need a repeater. Let's see if this works. Test if this works. We're going to want to break the glass. And we'll just update the block here by using some redstone. And we see that it does fire. And we do get the dispenser to fire. And it looks like it went all the way here down to the final block. And we can check it again. Final test it. We'll build this one up all the way. And then we will update the block. And as you can see, it was harvested over here. So if you're just doing 7, you shouldn't need a repeater. If you're doing any more, you might need a repeater. But as you can see, we get the apricorns to spawn in here. Obviously, we didn't have enough time for all of them to grow, but this is a super great passive farm. You can have it right by your base or here in a little AFK area like I do. And with this farm, especially coupled with an iron farm like this that I showed in an earlier episode, you will never run out of Pokeballs ever again in Cobblemon. It's nighttime, and so I don't always love recording when it's dark out because it's a little bit scary for us to be having a battle right now. But I did just find the next Team Rocket admin. This is our next boss that we need to fight in order to progress. And so we're going to take her on. It's Ariana, I'm not sure how to say it. We do have a super effective move against Incineroar, but it's not doing as much as I would like. I'm tempted to hit him with a yawn. It's probably not the best move because we could have done more damage. Otherwise, this is going to tank Gavin, but it should allow us. Oh, he used Fake Out, which is awesome. I don't know why the AI had it do that. That was a really bad move on their part. But I think it should fall asleep this move then. And I was thinking we were going to have to tank Gavin, but Gavin might be able to take Incineroar out then. That Fake Out really came in clutch. And so we should knock out Incineroar this turn. And I think once we defeat Ariana, the next Pokemon that we can fight is... Oh, shoot. This is what I was worried about. We're going to have to defend ourselves a little bit here. I think what I'll do, after we get rid of this guy, is I'm going to put ourselves on a little pedestal here where we can't get hit. So we'll be watching the battle from a tower. Primarina, we're going to throw out Torterra. He should be our best bet. Like I was saying, once we take down Ariana, I think we fight Giovanni one more time, and then we can finally get back to taking on the actual gym leaders. And so we'll have our little Team Rocket series here for a while. And Earthquake should be super effective against Mawile as well. The UI here, or the AI of the opponent, is not doing super great. I think we hopefully should be able to take out this Ariana on our first try as well, which would be awesome. And we do. There we go. Wow, that was really easy. I'm really surprised because the trainers have been pretty hard recently. And Giovanni especially took us forever. We were able to take out these next 2 Team Rocket leaders really easily. And now I'm kind of pumped to try and take on Giovanni again and see what we can do. So I believe our level cap does go up to level 57 now. So what I think we're going to do, because I'm tempted to just see how many trainers we can take out in this episode. And I'm totally lost. I got to figure out where my nether portal is. It's over here. So I think we're going to go back to our base so we can train up a little bit. And then I think we're going to see if hopefully Giovanni will spawn in and see if we can take him on. But I'm a little bit tempted. There is Lieutenant Surge right here, I believe. And so I think we should try on Lieutenant Surge as well. We'll have to defend ourselves against this zombie, unfortunately. And I really do need to get... Maybe that's something we'll do this episode as well. Oh, shoot. We got little baby one. These guys are terrifying. I think we need to level up our armor because realistically, we are not very prepared for the Minecraft side of things. And so we've been doing great Cobblemon wise, but we have not prepared enough with the Minecraft side of things. So let's take on Lieutenant Surge here. He should help us train up our Pokemon pretty good. And then we should get ready to see if maybe we can take on Giovanni this episode. And if we could get rid of Giovanni, we would have had a very productive episode. And there we go. We one-hit KO Manectric. We have a ton of ground-type Pokemon on our team, which has been really nice. Holy cow. This Dracozolt, I remember I did try fighting Lieutenant Surge, this new version of him, one more time. And his Dracozolt is like super hard to beat. So we're going to try and go for an Earthquake here. Luckily, he uses Bolt Beak, which we're immune to. So we can get off an Earthquake, which does a lot of damage. Torterra's going to be a pretty useful Pokemon. I don't know why it keeps using Bolt Beak. You'd think it would know that it's not effective. Especially since this is the Radical Cobblemon Trainers mod, where they're supposed to be pretty difficult to beat, which they have been traditionally. I really do need to go ahead and fix our trainer textures, because these guys look really derpy compared to what they used to look like. And Torterra is just putting in work. He's taking care of all of his Pokemon. And so I'm proud of Torterra. We have a ton of Ground-type Pokemon, like I was saying, or Pokemon with Ground-type moves. But it's actually turned out to be really helpful against most of the people we fought. And so there we go. Lieutenant Surge goes down. And it gets Nidoking at least to another level. And I think he just gave us maybe some Experience Candy. Nope. Flying Gem. Isn't as cool as Experience Candy, but still a useful item. I don't see Giovanni around here. So I think I'm going to head back to our home base. We'll come back here at some time in the future to AFK. But for now, we're going to head back home and get ready for Giovanni. While we were here, like I was talking about, I think we need to get our Minecraft things up. So I've been trading with this armor villager, and we have enough here to get some diamond armor. We don't have enough, unfortunately, to get the diamond leggings yet, but we will work on that. And I'm just going to keep doing this in the background, but I want to keep you guys updated. We'll be updating our armor, and then after this, we're going to go to the weaponsmith and try and get ourselves fully kitted out. Giovanni just spawned in, so it's time for us to take him on. It looks like his first Pokemon is a Hippowdon, which seems like maybe he's going for more just ground-type Pokemon this time. Last time we battled him, he seemed to have pretty much all sorts of types and a really well-balanced team. But I'm hoping maybe this time around it'll just be ground-type Pokemon. He does do a lot of damage to Gavin here, and Gavin does not do nearly as much as I was hoping. And there goes Gavin, so I'm a little worried by this Hippowdon, who also happens to look kind of terrifying here. With its red beady eyes. But hopefully Torterra can take him down here. Torterra is pretty powerful. Looks like Woodhammer does a lot of damage. The recoil isn't ideal, but I think one more Woodhammer should take care of him. The recoil will do a lot of damage to us, unfortunately, though, so Torterra won't be as prepped for the next Pokemon. And it is Kangaskhan, so it looks like he's not limited to ground-type Pokemon. And unfortunately, Snorlax was actually probably my best counter to Kangaskhan. He's the only one of my Pokemon, I think, who has a fighting type move. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll throw off a Leech Seed here to kind of help take down Kangaskhan a little bit more quickly. And hopefully preserve our Pokemon. It didn't work for Torterra, though. He goes down. I probably should have used the Synthesis first and then followed up with Leech Seed. Next up, we're going to send out Moltres here, and hopefully Moltres can take down Kangaskhan. I'm not entirely sure how it will go. Body Slam ended up doing quite a lot of damage to us. And looking at this here, I don't know that we'll survive another hit. I forgot about Leech Seed, though. Leech Seed should be really good. And, oof, never mind. Body Slam still took us out. I was hoping if we got a Roost off, it would heal us. This battle is not looking super good for us. Giovanni has been kind of a hard opponent for us so far. He's probably designed that way. But I thought we'd go for a Sky Drop here to avoid any damage. But that was probably a mistake, considering Leech Seed took it out. And so now we actually lose a turn here with Sky Drop, and we're not able to get off any damage. And Excadrill throws out an Iron Head, which, holy cow, that takes us out completely. So it looks like his team is pretty dangerous here. And I just sent out Nidoking, which is maybe a mistake. It was, I just realized, because he's also weak to ground type there. So we got Great T-Piece, who should be super effective and do really well. But Earthquake actually did a lot of damage to us. And we would have taken him out there, but it looks like Excadrill is holding a Focus Sash, which is definitely going to make our battles here a little bit more difficult. So we did just lose to Giovanni, which is unfortunate. But I got time for one more battle today, so we're going to try it again and see if maybe we can get Giovanni this time, now that we're familiar with his team. Although he is doing really well with the intimidation factor, as it looks like Hippowdon is literally eating Nidoking. And I decided to get off of Toxic Spikes here was my strategy. See if I can get all of his Pokemon poisoned and just sack Nidoking, because I figured most of his Pokemon are probably going to take us out. And oh shoot, I had just taught Great Two-Piece Hydro Pump and hoped it would do a lot of damage here, but it unfortunately missed, which really stinks. So I'm going to go for Wave Crash because it has 100% accuracy, but it does do a lot of recoil, and we do lose Great Two-Piece. If we could have landed the Hydro Pump, I think that may have gone differently, but unfortunately we did miss, so we're going to have to go for Torterra here, and Torterra should take him out in one hit. The stars here actually look really nice. They've done a good job with that in the game. It looks pretty, even though it's just blocks. But we get Kangaskhan poisoned, and we're going to switch to Snorlax, who should be able to tank a Body Slam. And then, we get paralyzed, which is not super great for us. But he does have Hammer Arm, which should hopefully do a lot of damage to Kangaskhan. We do get a lot of damage to us too, though, so I'm a little bit worried. Snorlax may not survive this battle here, especially if we get paralyzed. But Kangaskhan is almost down. Poison has done a lot to him. And we do live. Gavin lives, and so Body Slam should take down Kangaskhan without an issue. And that's looking pretty good for us. And our farm also looks super sweet in the background. But the Sandstorm unfortunately takes us out, so we got to decide who to lead with here. And I decided to go for Torterra, and he sends out a Garchomp, which is a little bit scary. But I think I'm going to try a little bit of a different strategy here with Torterra that should hopefully help us. We're going to start off with Wood Hammer, and it does a lot of damage to him. But we take quite a lot as well, and so I think we're going to go here for a Synthesis to heal ourselves back up. And so that with the Guava Berry gets us back to pretty much 100%. And so here we're in a really good position. And I think, honestly, it's time for us to start trolling. And we're going to go for a Leech Seed here to heal up. And then with the poison, that should do a lot of damage. And we should be able to get off a Synthesis to heal up pretty much back to perfect health. And then Leech Seed and Poison should take off Garchomp. I know it's a little bit cheesy, but honestly, I need the help to take down Giovanni. And I think it's a pretty good strategy. So I might continue that here for the rest of the Pokemon. Excadrill won't get poisoned because he's a Steel type. But if we can get a Leech Seed off, that should be pretty good for us to heal up Torterra. And then we should be able to get off a Synthesis here, hopefully to heal us up. Leech Seed does good, but we couldn't move, which is really unfortunate. So I don't think we'll be able to get another Synthesis off. We'll try, but we'll probably get KO'd here by Excadrill. And we do. So that's not great. Excadrill is a little bit difficult for us to deal with. Hopefully Moltres can take him if we outspeed. Oh, but Excadrill outspeeds, and we are 4 times weak to Rock. So we lose Moltres, and then Joseph also gets one-hit KO'd by Excadrill. So we may not win this round, which isn't great. But I think if we hadn't missed with that Synthesis, it would have worked. And so next time around when we take on Giovanni, I think we should be able to beat him. So I think next episode, we're going to start off trying to take on Giovanni. But thank you guys so much for watching. A special thank you to all my channel members. I really couldn't do this without you, and your support means the world to me. And if you'd like to become a channel member yourself, click the join button below to see the options.